In the door, waving the four, all you heard was "Papa. Don't hit me no more. Let's go." Kicking the door, waving the floor. "Hey, hey, hey." That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and damn pause. But I mean, people look at Usher. They don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that goat rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber. There. Did he even have been trying to get to Bieber? For a minute and his management was backing him off. Don Rashard said that Usher witnessed, Diddy punched Cassie in the stomach at a Usher. Didn't just walk into the courtroom, he stormed in, dragging decades of buried secrets behind him. And no, we're not talking gossip-level whispers. We're talking hard proof. Audio clips, documents, and a breadcrumb trail that's been pointing at Diddy for years. Those strange interviews, the awkward, on-camera moments, the weird quotes that never quite added up suddenly. It all makes horrifying sense, because Usher just confirmed the unthinkable. He was the prototype, the young prodigy passed around like a twisted rite of passage. And it didn't stop there. From Justin Bieber to Chris Brown, the net was wide. And the silence. Even wider, but that silence, it's unraveling fast. This isn't just some celebrity throwing shade. Usher is dismantling an entire system. What is revealing in court sounds less like a testimony and more like a warning shot, a grooming scheme camouflaged as mentorship. And Usher is starting with the person he knows best himself. Before we dive into the creepy clips, Thea 2-day detainment, or Diddy's escalating paranoia, let's rewind. Because long before, Justin was picking up a mic, or Cassie was trapped in that infamous hallway, Usher was already neck-deep in the machine. And he wasn't just watching, he was one of the first to be consumed by it. Back in the early 90s, Usher, Raymond Deefer, was just 13. A powerhouse voice out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, he caught the attention of Ella Reid, the hitmaker running LaFace Records, like a gold mine. But instead of creating a safe-guided environment for the young star, Reid made a call that would haunt Usher forever. He sent him to New York, straight into Diddy's apartment, or as it was infamously known in industry circles, Flavor Camp. Let's pause. Flavor Camp was no innocent retreat. It was Diddy's chaotic penthouse playground, decked out with everything a minor should never bear round. Booze models, cameras, and unchecked power. And in that chaos, Usher barely 14. Without his parents, without a lawyer, without protection, was just straight into the storm. Over the years, he'd bring up Flavor Camp in interview. But the smile never reached his eyes. Nervous chuckles, shifty glances. He described the place as wild full of women and casually admitted he witnessed things no kid should ever have to see. To New York City, and I lived with Sean, Puffy Combs, for a year. That's the crazy thing. Now that was L.A. Reid's idea. Right. We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp. There, you go to learn some favorite camp. Yeah, that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's in the 9s. Do you understand what that's like? Puffy's place was like, just filled with chicks. And during non-stop, right? No, not really, but there, hey, it was curious, I got a chance to see some things. Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing? I went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking. It was pretty wild, so nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along. I didn't say that. Okay, what I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it. Biggie Smalls was there. Lil Kim, Craig, Mac. All these people are hanging around. Yeah, man. Faith Evans, Mary, J. Blah. They didn't know nothing about this. I was having a good time. You know what I mean? And it only gets more disturbing, whispers echoing out of Harlem suggest Usher didn't just witness the chaos he was physically dragged into. Long-standing industry chatter hints that something deeply disturbing happened inside that apartment, something so severe it allegedly left Usher hospitalized. And no, not for stress or a broken limb. The word on the street, it was a backdoor injury. And if multiple insiders have alleged that Diddy crossed a line that sent Usher straight into urgent care. The details are murky, but the implications, devastating, whispers say. NDAs were slapped on fast hush. Money flowed like water. And what one Harlem insider described as underground pressure. Kick it in. No official police records, no press headlines, just black hole where the truth should have been. But the streets, they never stay silent for long. People talked quietly at first, then louder, and now, with Usher pulling back the curtain, in court those long-buried secrets are bubbling back up with a vengeance. Take this little kid to the hospital. How you send her to the hospital, man. Orcoandos was bleeding from the butt, and that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard it, and that's what happened, and that's just you. No, that's something that you heard. You don't know if it's true. You just heard it. Gene Deal is spilling some serious tea, claiming Usher had some interesting interactions with older women under Diddy's watch. Let me reframe you on something. Remember, Ushamwe was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room, had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. He came outside in this road. She gave him a fellatio, right? There. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for. You Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl, dead in her mouth. Now, I'm telling that because you taken up somebody. That. And a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. And then there's that clip, the one Diddy likely wishes had stayed buried forever. In the footage, he's lounging casually, reminiscing about his early days with Usher until he casually drops a line that stops everything cold. Used to wake up, and I mean damn pause, but like check this out. I mean back in the days, when he was like 10, and I was a little bit older. His older brother we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted place because he used to always get up early. But that wasn't the only time Usher was allegedly forced to watch the abuse rather than just be a victim of it. In one report, Usher was named as being present when Diddy punched Cassie in the stomach during a dinner with Neo and Jimmy Iovine. 3 more names have been dropped in the P. Diddy trial. During Dawn's testimony and cross-examination, she spoke about an event that happened in 2010 in West Hollywood. The event took place in a restaurant where Diddy allegedly punched Cassie in the stomach while the likes of Neo, Usher, and Jimmy Im were present. This then turned into a secret argument between Diddy and Cassie. He then pointed to the door, making her leave their restaurant because she was hunched over. But none of those men allegedly utter a single thing, not a peep, just silence. And for Usher now, a father himself, that quiet now feels like guilt. People have started to wonder if he was ever truly free, or if he just trained himself to shut down. So here's the harsh truth. Usher was most likely conditioned, not only into silence but into survival mode. He molded himself to fit the chaos he was thrown into. He adjusted to the madness around him, and by doing that, he became the very first clue in a lineup of shattered entertainers. But wait, there's more. What makes this whole thing even sadder is what Usher eventually did down the line, after he stopped treating warning signs as red alerts and began accepting them as just part of the business. Usher didn't just escape from Diddy's trap. He let someone else into it, and that someone was Justin Bieber. By the time Bieber entered the scene, the system was already set up, running smooth, well-oiled, and extremely harmful. And guess who opened the front gate for him? You guessed it, Usher. Now picture this. It's the late 2000s YouTube. Blowing up, and a 13-year-old kid from Canada with floppy hair and a killer voice is blowing up fast. Scooter Braun spots him. Usher gives him the green light. And what does Usher do next? He takes Justin right back to L.A. Reid, the very same man who once packed him off to Diddy's penthouse. It's the same cycle repeating all over again. But now it's even uglier, because now the signs are obvious. The threats are real, and Usher's not some kid anymore. He's an adult, and he hands Bieber over like some kind of tribute. And then comes Diddy, and Diddy didn't wait around. He swept in fast like a hawk. There's a widely circulated video still out there where Diddy boasts about keeping Justin with him for 48 straight hours. You know, where we hanging out. And what we doing? We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed the Usher, who signed the Usher, had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album, first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and are we going to go full buck, full crazy? Unsurprisingly, the energy felt strange, even back then, but folks brushed it off, labeled it industry mentorship, and kept it moving. But the internet has a long memory, and when people started piecing things together years later, that video hit way harder. And this wasn't just speculation. There are images, clips, and first-hand stories of Justin Bieber showing up at gatherings far beyond his age range. Pictures of him without a shirt around grown women at Diddy-hosted functions, video of him on live streams, looking visibly uneasy while Diddy tosses odd questions his way, like asking if he's wired. Up intervo 11, 3, 11, 11, 3, and 34. But this particular one triggered major warning signs and especially raised red flags, starting to act different. You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out. Well, you haven't. You tried to get in contact with me, through all my, business, partners and whatnot, but you never really got my number. So my number. Yeah. And maybe Justin sensed it too, because somewhere down the line he began to pull away. The link to Diddy started fading. The collabs stopped happening. Justin no longer mentioned him during press runs. He kept his space, and when lawsuits against Diddy began surfacing, Justin's silence grew louder than ever. He didn't stand by him, didn't speak in his favor, but also chose not to condemn him. And that brings us to one of the biggest unknowns in this whole timeline. What does Justin Bieber? Really, no insiders close to the matter believe Justin witnessed more than he'll probably ever reveal that he recognized the threat early and stepped away the minute he had enough influence to do so. Some believe he's staying quiet due to fear of backlash, getting blacklisted, or reawakening trauma he never asked for. No matter the reason, it's obvious now Bieber was pulled into something far deeper than just stardom. And as for Usher, his role, it's no longer innocent. Not by a long shot, trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that, he had already been to the hospital, that situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there, but You got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get it, Bieber the way he was trying to get it. Bieber was looking a little predatory, and then Usher came in and discovered it. But that's still not the final chapter of this saga. Let's begin with the court case itself. Cassie, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and former mentee, has already sworn in court that Usher was there when Diddy laid hands on her, reportedly hitting her in the stomach during a dinner with Now and Jimmy. What's rattling people now is that no one at that table even reacted. And this wasn't just any crowd. These were some of the biggest names in the music business, and yet not a word that silence now reads. Like guilt by association. But it doesn't stop there, because the attendee list is now leaking out. Names of people who were involved, saw things, or were simply too connected to ignore. Chris Brown, French Montana, and yes, Justin Bieber all showed up at Diddy's notorious Thanksgiving bash back in 2017, lounging in the mansion, caught on camera, laughing, dapping each other up, posing like one big crew on that exact night. French Montana arrived late, and Diddy had the whole group hold hands for group prayer, eerie. Right, a predator leading a blessing circle, fully aware of the twisted reality behind those walls. It goes even further. Let's bring Diddy's own blood into the spotlight. Because if this was a whole system, it had to start from within and spread outward. And according to bodyguard Gene Deal, Diddy's own mother, Janice Combs, was allegedly part of this grooming setup too. Multiple insiders have come forward claiming that Diddy's mom would party alongside him, and may have even assisted in bringing in girls and women. And once that piece clicks into place, the rest of the story starts to look a whole lot more believable. And now eyes are on Justin Bieber because he was the one who slipped through the cracks. But let's not ignore the fact that Justin literally followed Usher on Instagram, which pretty much says everything you need to know about where their relationship stands right now. Justin is at a major crossroads 4 months. He hasn't said a word, while the internet's been ablaze with theories. Fans have been dissecting every clip, every photo, every encounter between him and Diddy, trying to find the truth, and a lot of it hasn't sat right. But now Bieber's team is stepping in to shut it all down in an official response to People magazine. A rep said, while Justine is not listed among Shaw Combs' victims, there are those who did suffer real harm because of him, shifting the narrative away from them. It distracts from the justice they truly deserve. So, no, Bieber is making it clear he wasn't personally targeted by Diddy, but he's also not denying that something sinister went on with others. And before that public response even came out, Justin had already been showing signs something wasn't right. He vanished from the spotlight for a bit, barely online, barely seen. And then, out of nowhere, he shows up courtside at a hockey match in Toronto, not looking like himself during the game. He's clinging to Hailey like she's his anchor, trying to look normal while clearly struggling and making it even more intense. Sources close to Bieber told reporters that he's been mentally shaken by the whole Diddy mess. One insider mentioned he emotionally shut down and won't even talk about it yet. Another insider shared that Justin regretted linking up with Diddy for his 2023 project, the Love album Off the Grid. This goes way beyond Cassie's bruises, Usher's stolen childhood, or Justin's inner battles. It's about the entire ecosystem that allowed all of this to happen, and the people who made sure it didn't stop. So what's coming next? That depends on who's bold enough to come forward, who's willing to confront what they witnessed, and who's still pretending to be innocent, hoping they don't get exposed next. Because if Usher's testimony holds strong, if Justin finally breaks his silence, and if even a fraction of the rumors about videotapes and freak-off content are true, then this isn't just a fall for Diddy. It's a full-blown firestorm for the entertainment industry. Sound off below. Do you think Usher was just trying to survive or did he knowingly pass Bieber into the fire? Should Justin finally speak a poor wait until the court validates Usher's version? And how many more names do you think are about to crash down with Diddy? If you want the full story of how Cassie's testimony fits into this chaos and why she was pushed out of the spotlight for years, head to the next video now, because once her truth comes out, everything else hits harder.